All right, we'll bring this meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, well, thank you all for coming to this Tuesday, May 27th meeting of the City of Sydney Council. Greatest city in the world. Thank you all for coming. And we will do this meeting in accordance with the Open Meetings Act, which is posted over there on the wall. And we will open it up to comments by the public. Anybody in the public wants to make a comment? That's what that's all about. But I guess not. That's fine. We'll go on to number 3. Approval of the council meeting minutes for May 13th, 2025.
I'll move.
Second by Bondegaard, second by Radcliffe. Roll call, please.
Kirkman,
Yes.
Coons,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bondegaard.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. And now approval of the meetings for the May 15th.
I will motion this one.
And I will second this one.
Motion by Kirkman, second by Coons. Roll call, please.
Coons,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
I abstain? Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Abstain?
Bondegaard,
Yes.
Kirkman.
Yes.
Okay. Motion passes 4 with 1 abstention. And we have some planning commission reappointments. Lori's going to tell us all about those.
Okay, the Planning Commission consists of 9 regular members who are appointed by the mayor and a majority vote of the members of the council. Matt Benzel has been a board member since January of 2020. John Glenn, January of 2018, and Caleb Sweetser was a board member since 2018 also. And they've each given valuable input during their tenure with the Planning Commissioning Board, and they all accepted their invitation to be reappointed if council does so.
All right. Questions, arguments?
Nope.
I'll make a motion, we reappoint him.
All right.
I'll
By
second.
Coons, second by Bondegaard. Roll call, please.
Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bondegaard,
Yes.
Kirkman,
Yes.
Coons.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. They are officially reappointed. And now we have library board appointment.
Yes, I'm coming for the council tonight to approve appointment of Rebecca Prost, and I don't know that I'm saying that right. Am I saying? Probst. Okay, I didn't know if the second one was silent or not. To the library board. The library consists of 5 members appointed by the city council for 4-year terms. Each member is limited to 2 terms, not including completing a vacated, unexpired term. The one we have now, the opening was created by Stephen DeWitt, who moved, and that created the available seat. We advertised it in social media and the newspaper, received 1 applicant that we think is very qualified, and so we would like the city council's permission to appoint Rebecca Probst to the library board. Do you want to say something? Or do you have any questions for her? She's here.
You absolutely do not have to. We really enjoy it if you do, but you don't have to.
Oh, damn.
Well, I have,
Could you come
Yeah.
forward?
Oh, yeah. Just say your name.
yeah, as a single woman, I've worked like 3 or 4 jobs all my life just to make ends meet, and the library has been very important for me throughout all those jobs. It's provided me with inspiration, information, entertainment, all that kind of stuff. Now that I'm retired and I'm only working 1 job, I think, why not give back to the community? So that's why I decided to do this.
I like the
I've been in
fact that you
Sydney
retired
about
from,
8 years, so I haven't been here my whole life, but,
well, it still counts.
okay.
I like the fact that you've retired from 2 jobs.
I'm also going to interject on Rebecca's behalf. She's also an author.
Oh, really? What? No, come back here. What have you written?
Well, I just wrote a book about my personal experience with a traumatic brain injury. And all my friends requested me to write it. So it's took me like 7 years to write it, but I finally got it written and sold about 2,000 books. And
Really?
I've been
That's
to a lot of
cool.
libraries around the area
Yeah.
to sell the books. And now I'm not doing that now, but
Well, that's fantastic. Is that one of the 3 jobs, or would this be a 4th job?
no, that was extracurricular.
That was just, that's not even a job, I guess, huh? Well, that's
No, it was a
fantastic.
pretty good
What is the name of the book?
Absent Memories.
Fantastic. Well, I'll go check that out.
Yeah, that's
I think the
So-
library might have one. I think
Oh, well, I bet they will if they don't. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet.
I'll move.
Motion by Bondegaard,
I would second that.
second by Radcliffe. Very nice.
Redcliffe,
Yes.
Bonnegar,
Yes.
Kirkman.
Yes.
Coons,
Yes.
Sherman.
Yes. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you. All right, Safe Streets for All. We've got a whole bunch of people here to talk about that. Whoever wants to come first.
Who's kicking this off?
Mayor and Council, my name is Dave Schaff with MC Schaff and Associates. I'm here just to present the final draft of the Safe Streets for All planning project that we've been working on for a number of months now. I'm going to keep it very short. I know you all have been very active in the project, and we really appreciate that as part of the public involvement process. So I'm going to keep the overview and the project description very, very brief and quick, and then leave it open for questions at the end. So. Just real quick, the Safe Streets for All program is funded by the Federal Highways Administration. It's an initiative to help all communities reevaluate, in a sense, your transportation system and look for ways that we can improve the safety of the systems throughout the community. And the project was primarily driven by 2 primary factors. It was a data-driven project and very much a public involvement aspect of the project as well. The vision of the project, or for the Safe Streets for All, is the overall goal is for, they call it the Vision Zero, which basically is the vision is to have 0 fatalities or serious injuries throughout your transportation system. Recognizing this is there's a human aspect to this. There's always that risk of having that, but our vision truly is to minimize them and get them down to 0 if possible. So Sydney's call to action, it was kind of interesting. We, through this project from a data side, from a data side, we evaluated over the past 10 years. And so over a 10-year period, Sydney's got a very safe system overall. It's below the national average per capita, but over the last 5 years, you've had a number of fatalities that actually has driven that statistic up to where you're right at the national average. So the overall goal for this then would be to drive it back down and get below the average for small communities. Overall, we evaluated Sydney's system and evaluated over similar communities in the region, and you fall right in line with what we're seeing and evaluating throughout the rest of the state. So the first part of it was very data driven, and that's from the crash data. We had Susan Myers was the one that did all of the analysis for us. She did a tremendous job of gathering all the information from the Nebraska State Patrol and local police and all of the data that was provided for crashes, and that went all the way from non-reportable, meaning there was no serious property damage or anything, just minor reportable incidents, but it was very minor, all the way down to a fatality. And so, as you can see from the map, there's been a lot of reported incidences over the last 10 years, but very few serious or fatal crashes. The first one depicted all the points that were all of the reportable, and this just shows the high injury network showing the primary transportation system that had the serious injury aspects of it. So, it's you can see it's kind of concentrated within the downtown area as well as on the state highway system. So from there, we did the public input, which was tremendous. The city of Sydney, with their task force and also with the city staff, did an amazing job of gathering public input. I would say it's probably the best project from a public input standpoint that I've been involved with in my career. So kudos to the city of Sydney of really being active in participating in this project. It was made it a lot more fun, to be honest. But this is kind of a hotspot map that shows where the public input shows and showed that there was where they felt the problems were. And so I think it was an interesting project to evaluate where the actual data-driven crashes were and then where the perceptive or where the public perceived those incidents to be. And so being able to combine those together, you can see there's a correlation, but there's not. So it shows that there's sometimes the public input and there's a couple incidents where people perceive it to be a serious problem, or sometimes it's really not. So it was a good project to be able to correlate the two together and show that there is a correlation, but there also is there's some instances where there's not. So. So after evaluating the data as well as the public input, the project then developed projects that we felt were important to be able to concentrate on. And this was part of the funding mechanism to where we prioritize projects based off of the data that we gathered, and then it would then be available to go towards the implementation grants, which the City of Sydney is now looking at doing. So these projects were prioritized based off of pathways, intersections, the pedestrian underpass. There's just a number of them. And in fact, there was probably about 70 projects that we looked at for potentials, which we then prioritized as well as put together cost estimates for the next phase for submitting for funds. So with that, there's a project matrix. And again, this is just the first sheet that shows the 74 projects that as you go through the plan, you can look at all of them. Recognize that this plan is a living document. And so as we move forward with this, we do need to adopt this plan as the plan in order to apply for future funding. But there's always the opportunity, and it's encouraged to be able to continue to update it, continue to look at it. And as maybe funding mechanisms change or priorities change throughout the city, we can then amend the plan to make sure that they're available or that the projects become eligible for the funding. So that's the action plan. And again, as part of the final document, we'll have city staff and the task force review this plan over time. That's part of the grant assurance we have to do. And so they've already set up a schedule and a team that will go through this plan and look at it on annually. That'll look for 1 to 2 year plan, 3 to 5 year plan, and 5 years and beyond. So bigger projects, obviously, as we can figure out the funding mechanism to implement those projects, those are also in there. So, and again, I'd really like to thank you for allowing us to work with you on this project. Jason did a tremendous job with getting the funds in the grant for this. And again, your task force was a lot of fun to work with, and we appreciate it. So with that, I'll leave it open to projects or questions you might have. And then the rest of the team back here can help me.
Yeah, when's it gonna be done?
So the plan is done. The plan is done. It's still on your website in draft form. So after it's adopted by the council, whether it be tonight or your next meeting, it'll be finalized and then published on your website as final. So,
But I mean, when we're gonna build it?
well,
That was back in Jason's court.
We just need it to be approved first, and then
Yeah.
we start pumping out grants.
Yeah.
So.
I know
Look
we
at
are
you putting
working
the
with
pressure
Jason
on us.
for implementation grants actively now. So
Yeah.
he's already above and going forward. So.
Well, that's awesome. No, this is it's been a great project, and definitely appreciate all your help and being at these events and doing what you do to make this happen for us. Any other questions?
A lot of data. I love
There's a lot of
data,
data.
so it's great.
It is a
We
lot.
do have an executive summary out there that's a lot shorter, and it is on the website as well. So if you want a condensed version to really look at it and be able to look at the highlights, it's there. And it's a quick 23-page read.
I think
Yeah.
exhibit summaries what you
Brett will
need.
read that before he goes to bed tonight.
If you want the full version, you do have.
Yeah, I need that full version now. Like,
I'm in
there's a
my
lot more
office.
stuff on there. There we go.
Well, no, thank you.
Awesome, yeah.
Thank you very much for all your hard work.
Absolutely. We had a great team and a great task force. It really went well. So it was
Yeah.
fun. So appreciate it.
Well, good. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Who wants to make it official? Do we have a motion for the Safe Streets for All application?
I will motion for the Safe Streets for All application.
Action plan.
Action plan.
Action plan, sorry.
And I will,
Action, whatever it is. Yes,
Yeah.
that is what I'm doing.
We've got a motion by Mr. Kirkman and a second by Mr. Coons for the action
Approve the Safe Streets Action Plan.
plan. Yes, exactly what I wanted to say. Roll call, please.
Bondegaard,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Coons,
Yes.
Kurtman.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. Thank you. And now some more grants. Melissa?
Good evening. Melissa Norgard. I am a grant and technical writer that's funded through a USDA grant through the City of Sydney. I've been enrolled since the end of July 2024, so I'm actually coming up on the end of my contract for this USDA grant, but I'll get to that later on. Just wanted to give the council a quick update on some big accomplishments that we've had through the grant and technical writer, my role, and then also Alicia Juliffs, who's the entrepreneurial navigator for E3. So since July of 2024, I've assisted with completing 50 business plans. So I usually average 3 to 5 meetings per client when they come in, when we get started, go through some initial draft ideas. We have a platform called LivePlan. They put some information in there, then I help them compile it into an actual draft Word document business plan, put some financials together. So that's been really, really good. One big success from that is the Grow Nebraska grant. So that was the Nebraska Small Business Assistance Grant. We had 15 successful applicants in Cheyenne County. We had 11 who applied who did not get selected. But the grant portal opened on March 31st and they were going to take 60 applications. They ended up taking 281 applications in only 15 minutes. So that just shows how big of a need that is for small business assistance in the state of Nebraska. We were super fortunate that we had 6 applicants in Cheyenne County and they've all moved on to the second round for funding. So we are super excited about that. E3 also partnered with the Chamber and Economic Development here at the city to apply for Good Life is Calling funds. They're through the State Economic Development Office. They're calling it a sponsorship, not a grant. So Cheyenne County was actually awarded $29,500. That funding is in partnership with, like I said, State Economic Development through their Good Life is Calling campaign, and that is to recruit and retain newcomers to Cheyenne County. So between myself, Alicia, Brandy, and Joe at the Chamber, we're all working in collaboration and partnership to work through events and marketing, utilizing News Channel Nebraska and High Point Images to really market Cheyenne County and what we have to offer here. There's 3 key initiatives: talent attraction, branding together, and thrive and retain. So we're super excited to get that off the ground. Just really getting started. So that will be taking place now through the rest of this year and through April of next year. So to date, since July of last year, total funding applied for is over $1.4 million. Confirmed and received is $329,000. So some of those funds are through, like I mentioned earlier, Grow Nebraska. We've applied for and received Jack Lewis Safety Funds, Creative District through the Nebraska Arts Council, childcare expansion with the Community Center, Black Hills Energy, Bricks and Mortar, Business Builder, the list goes on. Another big thing that we're working on is partnering with WNCC. So for anybody who hasn't been to the college campus since, I think 2018 is when the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center opened there. Paula Abbott has done a really good job of getting that up and going. And we think it's underutilized. We also think that there is a huge opportunity to bring some more in-person classes back to campus there and maybe drive some more foot traffic on campus. So we're working really closely with Paula at the college and also Greg Dart, who is the dean, is that what he's called? President. In Scottsbluff, who's very supportive of innovation and entrepreneurship. So just working on how we can help expand that Innovation Entrepreneurship Center at the college campus. So then I went into some goals for the future. So like I talked about, my funding through the City of Sydney actually comes to an end at the end of July. I'm excited to say that we have confirmed funding for my role and Alicia's role for the next 3 years. So we are super excited about that so we can keep doing the work that we've been doing over the last 2 years. Continue to help small businesses and entrepreneurs.
That was fantastic. Now, how many years has it been since the E3 started?
So really, the program kicked off in 2021, and Alicia's been enrolled since 2022. Yes.
That's fantastic.
So we'll be up on, well, 4 years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Where's the best place to find E3 calendars, like things you got going on? Just, highlighting some of these items here.
So that is one thing we talked about because we don't have our own standalone website. So before we had confirmed funding for the next 3 years, we kept going back and forth on, do we do an actual standalone website or just utilize the Chamber and Economic Development to help push out our monthly community meetings and other things that we're doing through workshops and those types of things in collaboration. And since we have secured that funding, we are going to do our own website. So that there will be more of a calendar. But I think Joe at the Chamber puts all of our community meetings on the Chamber calendar page.
Okay, gotcha.
That's the only question.
Well, I'll ask another one then. Because you specialize in helping people get businesses started, but you also are able to help other people as well, correct?
That is correct. So I'm glad you brought that up because a big need that we've seen over the last 3 months is nonprofits. So a lot of nonprofits struggle for volunteers, not only on their boards, but volunteers just to get things done every day. I think Rob can attest to that, and you can too with the Elks. So we are working on what that potentially looks like moving forward. Part of the Good Life is Calling campaign is we're going to do a nonprofit fair, kind of like what the Leadership Cheyenne County class did in 2022. We're going to partner with the Elks and do that again at the end of July. So we're working on getting more communication out about that in the next couple of weeks. So that has been a huge need that we're going to try to figure out how to navigate that.
Well, good. Yeah.
Because there is a lot of funding out there for nonprofits. A lot of philanthropic organizations exist out there to help those organizations operate. So we want to open that door and get some of that money back in nonprofits in Cheyenne County.
Yeah, no, it's extremely important. And like you said, I mean, it's not always just about the money. It's about the time. If you've got a couple hours a week, even 1 hour a week to find worthy charity here in town and help them out, they will appreciate that even more than money sometimes.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
Well, great.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Appreciate it. All right. On to the Nebraska Housing Trust Fund.
Hello, Council. So I'm bringing to you guys a different kind of idea for more housing, new housing, and affordable housing here in Sydney. We've previously expressed interest in increasing workforce housing here, availability of it. I've discussed potential project development with local businesses and community partners in preparation for this particular grant, which is the Nebraska Affordable Housing Trust Fund. We'd cap it $750,000 if awarded, but the way it would work, I'll outline it a little bit for you. We'd construct 3 new homes here in Sydney, and I've talked to the state, and they do really like Daily Drive in particular. These lots would be acquired utilizing these funds as well. So there are a portion of these funds that would be allocated for acquisition of the lots. We'd offer up to $30,000 per home buyer for home buyer assistance, which some people don't know that the term changed, but it's down payment assistance. And I do want to point out that those local businesses that are interested in us approaching this application there's at least one who's given us a letter of support who's willing to give more home buyer assistance to their employees if their employees qualify for this program and buy one of the houses. We would offer 10% developer fee, and I apologize, on your memo it says 20%, but after I submitted my memo to Lori, it did change with the state after confirming a couple things. So we would offer a 10% developer fee upon sale of all 3 homes, because the city of Sydney would have to own the 3 units until they're gone. So we can make sure that we're properly screening people and that they fall within the proper income limits. So financial implications in particular, this is a grant-based program with no required match. It helps, but I wouldn't recommend, or I didn't recommend that we had match for this particular one since it's a trial basis. All NAHTF funds will be drawn on reimbursement basis, so kind of like downtown revitalization. We submit the payments we've made to the state, and they reimburse us out of that $750,000. So acquisition happens, we're submitting to the state for reimbursement. Development happens, and they can give us receipts as they go along, and we can keep getting funds from the state. The city will coordinate with the selected developer, which one has already said that they're interested in this program, and it's the one for the ranch integrity developments. To manage cash flow during construction, and the city will recoup costs for reinvestment in future housing phases. So we could very likely, build more than just 3 homes. This is the first phase of an entire process. And I've heard that in the past, there's been conflicting stance on the city owning units and selling them, and essentially being the developer. But I do think we could work through this and offer another way to have affordable housing here in Sydney. So I'm asking you guys if I can apply for this particular fund.
Questions?
Brad, if I may. really
Please.
quick. We did do this once before, I believe. I don't know if I was finance director or city manager then, but Melissa Norgard was the, and we applied for this once before, and some of the feedback they gave us for why they didn't approve us then are things Brandy is addressing now. We did not have an identified developer. She does. We did not have an identified location at that point, and those were some of the things they gave us a couple of years ago when we tried for these funds that kind of lowered our ranking. And so I appreciate Brandy to revisiting this and taking our constructive feedback into consideration in her application.
I know one big thing with the state when you apply for these funds is they like accessibility, so homes that, you can get a wheelchair in and everything. So the blueprints that I've looked at with the developer, they're ranch-style homes. So I'm trying to address as many things from both the state and local that would be of concern.
You said the state favored daily drive or something, or?
Yeah, they've looked at the lots, so you have to do an advanced site survey with the state. This could potentially be a location. They come take a look at it, and you have to do a whole bunch of paperwork. But I did some preliminary footwork for this one to see if we even had spots that would work, because you also, when you apply for these, they don't like odd-shaped lots, so the ranch would be kind of probably not a good spot to build these particular homes on.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I had, so yeah, it looks good. I was doing some research trying to figure out what the average median income was. And I don't know if I got this right, but like a 4-person household would be 82,900. Does that sound about right?
That sounds right.
So 120%. So if you're making 100,000, you could qualify.
Yeah, and it's going to change by the time we ever sell these units, that
Okay.
median household income. So we just have to make sure that we have the state's and our most recent information, and then do the calculations ourselves before we ever approve anyone.
Okay.
It's only an application.
Doesn't cost us anything,
Doesn't cost us anything.
except for your valuable time.
Yes.
All right. Well, do we have a motion to allow Brandy to fill out this application for the Nebraska Affordable Housing Trust Fund?
I'll move.
Motion by Bondegard,
I would second that.
second by Radcliffe. Roll call, please.
Kirkman,
Yes.
Coons,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bondegard.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. You officially have our permission.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to ask us?
Yeah, she's up next.
She's got the
I'm
next
up again.
That's what I meant.
I guess I do then. Okay, so in the PAD administrator agreement that we have to do for downtown revitalization funds, PAD's the one who does all of our paperwork between us and the state. We had to go through our Panhandle Area Development District. There's 7 districts, I think, in the state of Nebraska. That's ours, and we applied and used them as our administrator. When we first did the paperwork, we identified that, and we allocated, I think it was $35,000 for administrator fees, so it's already allocated within the funds that we have for downtown revitalization. This agreement is us agreeing to work with them as our administrator of the funds, and then we can proceed with making sure that they get paid for their work and that our local businesses / building owners are getting paid for the work that they're putting into their buildings.
This same program we came to last time with the reimbursement request for Spring Creek.
So, shall we let him do it? Have a motion?
Yeah, I guess we're ready. All motion to move forward with this.
Motion by Kirkman,
Second.
second by Radcliffe. Roll call, please.
Coons?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Bondegaard?
Yes.
Kirkman?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, this is the moments we've all been waiting for. Ordinance 18, 71, 72, 73, 74, and 75, but we're not going to do them together. We're going to do them separately.
Okay, I just wanted to give you a little bit of information on why we're amending these. These amendments to the ordinance reflect all 5 amendments of the dates and fiscal years. They were August and July, and our fiscal year is actually October and September.
So basically, the wording was incorrect, and we're fixing it.
Correct. Well, at
And-
one point in time, it was, that is the way.
It was, and then it wasn't, and now it is, and and who discovered that little error?
Todd, I think.
Todd, Suck Up, actually.
Really? It's fantastic. Not even his job, really, and there he is kicking in, helping out. I love it.
He's to blame for us having to vote on all these.
See, now I didn't want to go there. I was trying to find a positive. Anyway.
Who would kneecap it?
All right, there's our background. And so for each one of these that was identified incorrectly, we are going to fix the ordinance to make it correct. And with that, we will start with ordinance 1871. So we just go right into a motion to designate. Do we have a motion to designate?
Motion to designate?
Second.
Motion by Kirkman, second by Coons. The excitement level is mounting. Roll call, please.
Okay, Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bondegaard,
Yes.
Kirkman,
Yes.
Coons.
Yes.
Motion to designate passes 5-0. Clerk, please read the title.
An ordinance to amend Part 10, Streets, Utilities, and Public Services Code, Title 4, Utilities, Chapter 1042, Water, Section 1042.42, franchise fee from Water Department of the City of Sidney, Cheyenne County, Nebraska, to repeal such a section as heretofore existing and to provide for the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to waive the 3 readings?
So moved.
Motion by Radcliffe,
Second.
second by Kirkman. Roll call, please.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bondegaard,
Yes.
Kirkman,
Yes.
Coons,
Yes.
Sherman.
Yes. All right. Motion to waive the 3 readings. So we go on to see if we have a motion to pass ordinance 1871.
I'll move.
Motion by Bondegaard,
Second.
second by Radcliffe. Roll call, please.
Bondegaard,
Yes.
Kirkman,
Yes.
Coons,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe.
Yes.
Motion to pass ordinance 1871 passes. Clerk, would you please read the number?
1871.
Very well done. Thank you. Motion to publish ordinance 1871.
Motion?
Second.
Ooh, motion by Kirkman, second by Coons. Roll call, please.
Kirkman,
Yes.
Coons,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bondegaard.
Yes.
Motion to publish ordinance 1871 passes 5-0. We are officially 1/5 of the way through the ordinance reading. We've already lost.
We can't do ditto or anything? Or
Huh?
We can't do ditto on
Can't
the
just
rest
hit
of this, or-
repeat?
Nope.
I like how she thought
do
about
it
it. It's
again.
like, what the heck? Let's try it. All right. Well, ordinance 1872, amending 10054.37, franchise fees for sewer department. Is there a motion?
I'll
to
move.
Designate ordinance 1872, Bonnegaard makes the motion.
Second.
Radcliffe with the second. Roll call, please.
Coons,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bonnegaard,
Yes.
Kirkman.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0 to designate ordinance 1872. Clerk, would you please read the title?
An ordinance to modify Part 10, Streets, Utilities, and Public Services Code, Title 4, Utilities, Chapters 1045, Sewers and Private Disposal Systems, Section 1045.37, Franchise Fee from Sewer Department of the City of Sidney, Cheyenne County, Nebraska, to repeal such section as heretofore existing, and to provide for the effective date of this ordinance.
Fantastic. Do we have a motion to waive the three readings?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by
Three
Coons.
readings.
Second.
Second by Kirkman, by a half a second. Roll call, please.
Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bonnegaard,
Yes.
Kirkman,
Yes.
Coons.
Yes.
All right. Motion to waive the three readings passes 5-0. Do we have a motion to pass ordinance 1872?
I'll move.
Second.
Motion by Bondegaard, second by Radcliffe. Roll call, please.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bonnegaard,
Yes.
Kirkman,
Yes.
Coons,
Yes.
Sherman.
Yes. Lori, would you please read the title?
The number,
Number.
The number.
Yeah. Read the number.
1872.
I was on a roll there.
You guys would be good
All
at this
right.
at the end.
Motion to publish 1872.
Motion.
Motion by Kirkman,
Second.
second by Coons. Roll call, please.
Bonnegaard,
Yes.
Kirkman,
Yes.
Coons,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. We're now 20% through. Ordinance 1873, amending 1048.12, franchise fees for the electric department. Do we have a motion to designate 1873?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Coons,
I'll second.
second by Bondegaard. Roll call, please.
Kirkman,
Yes.
Coons,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bonnegaard.
Yes.
All right, motion to designate 1872 passes 5-0. Lori, would you please read the title?
An ordinance to amend Part 10, Streets, Utilities, and Public Services Code, Title 4, Utilities, Chapter 1048, Electricity, Section 1048.12, Franchise Fee from Electric Department of the City of Sidney, Cheyenne County, Nebraska, to repeal such section as heretofore existing and to provide for the effective date of this ordinance.
Yeah, well done. Motion to waive the three readings?
So moved.
Motion by Radcliffe,
I'll second.
second by Bondegaard. Roll call, please.
Coons,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bonnegaard,
Yes.
Kirkman.
Yes.
All right. Motion to waive the three readings passes 5-0. Do we have a motion to pass ordinance 1873?
I will motion to pass ordinance 1873.
Motion by Kirkman,
I'll second.
second by Bondegaard. Roll call, please.
Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bonnegaard,
Yes.
Kirkman,
Yes.
Coons.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. Lori, would you please read the number?
1873.
Thank you. Motion to publish 1873?
I move.
Motion by
Second.
Bondegaard, second by Radcliffe. Roll call, please.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bonnegaard,
Yes.
Kirkman,
Yes.
Coons,
Yes.
Sherman.
Yes. All right, motion to publish 1873 passes. Now we're on to 1874, amending ordinance 1060.15 of the franchise fee for the garbage and refuse collection. We have a motion to designate ordinance 1874.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Coons,
Second.
second by Kirkman. Roll call, please.
Bonnegaard,
Yes.
Kirkman,
Yes.
Coons,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe.
Yes.
All right, motion to designate ordinance 1874 passes 5-0. Lori, would you please read the title?
An ordinance to modify Part 10, Streets, Utilities, and Public Services Code, Title 6, Other Public Services, Chapter 1060, Garbage and Refuse Collection and Disposal, Section 1060.15, Franchise Fee for Garbage and Refuse Collection of the City of Sidney, Cheyenne County, Nebraska, to repeal such section as heretofore existing and to provide for the effective date of this ordinance.
Very well done. Would you make a motion to waive the three readings?
Motion.
Second.
Motion. Actually, Mr. Radcliffe did get the motion and Kirkman gets the second.
Okay.
So it was very close.
Done.
Roll call, please.
Kirkman?
Yes.
Coons?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Bonnegarde?
Yes.
Motion to waive the three readings passes 5-0. Do we have a motion to pass ordinance 1874?
I'll move.
Motion by Bondegaard, second by
second.
Coons. Roll call, please.
Coons?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Bonnegarde?
Yes.
Kirkman?
Yes.
Excellent. Motion to pass ordinance 1874 passes 5-0. Lori, would you please read the number?
1874.
Excellent. Do we have a motion to publish ordinance 1874?
Motion.
Motion by Kirkman,
Second.
second by Coons. We're wearing them down. Roll call, please.
Sherman?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Bonnegarde?
Yes.
Kirkman?
Yes.
Coons?
Yes.
Motion passes. Motion to publish 1874 passes 5-0. We are on to ordinance 1875, amending 1060.16, franchise fee for garbage and refuse disposal, which is different than the collection, because that was the other one, in case you guys were listening and got confused there. All right.
All those people.
Do we have a motion to designate ordinance 1875?
I'll move. Second.
Motion by Bondegaard, second by Radcliffe. Roll call, please.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Bonnegarde?
Yes.
Kirkman?
Yes.
Coons?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes. Motion to designate ordinance 1875 passes 5-0. Clerk, would you please read the title?
An ordinance to modify Part 10, Streets, Utilities, and Public Services Code, Title 6, Other Public Services, Chapter 1060, Garbage and Refuse Collection and Disposal, Section 1061-6, Franchise Fee for Garbage and Refuse Disposal of the City of Sidney, Cheyenne County, Nebraska, to repeal such a section as heretofore existing and to provide for the effective date of this ordinance.
Fantastic. Do we have a motion to waive the three readings?
I will motion to waive the three reading.
I'll
Motion
second.
by Mr. Kirkman, second by Bondegaard. Roll call, please.
Bonnegarde?
Yes.
Kirkman?
Yes.
Coons?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Motion passes to waive the three readings 5-0. Do we have a motion to pass ordinance 1875?
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
Radcliffe and Coons with the second. Roll call, please.
Kirkman?
Yes.
Coons?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Bonnegarde?
Yes.
Lori, would you please read the number?
1875.
Excellent. Do we have a motion to publish ordinance 1875?
Motion.
Motion by Mr.
Second.
Kirkman, second by Mr. Bondegaard. Roll call, please.
Coons?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Bonnegarde?
Yes.
Kirkman?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0 to publish 1875. And thank you. Give yourself a round of applause just for surviving that. Very, very amazing. We only lost half the audience up until this
Ice
point.
cream, maybe?
And then we'll go right into the city manager's report.
There's nobody left on, no. There might be, I don't know.
It can't be.
Just the people that had to stay
They
here.
fell asleep. Fell asleep.
I don't have a ton of things. I just wanted to mention that I think June 6th is cruising night, so if anybody's interested in that. And June 8th is a Sunday, which is our employee picnic, so if council members want to come and hang out with staff. And
What is
but you got to let them know by tomorrow, right? You got to let them know by tomorrow if you're joining us for the employee picnic. We usually do it out at the Large Patrol Youth Camp. So,
That's tomorrow?
Sure.
yeah. Autumn needs to know by tomorrow to do like food and stuff, but it's not till the 8th, so that will be the 8th, if anybody's interested in that. And then, well, let you go, we've had several inquiries lately about downtown parking, the 2-hour parking there, both pro and con, and there's been a few that have asked to be on the council agenda. They didn't do it until we already had this agenda ready. So Sam and myself and Street and Marshall and have sat down, and we're trying to work out something that will give you guys all the past and present information of why it's there and why it shouldn't be, or maybe should or shouldn't be, and whatever options you have available to you. And we'll probably try to get that if we can at the next meeting. So there probably will be people that want to speak to it, but it'll be an agenda item then, so it won't be, we won't have to do a separate agenda item for every single one of them that wants to talk. It'll be an agenda item for anybody that wants to talk. So we'll probably be bringing it to, hopefully at the next meeting. And also, an event I didn't mention, which is in between cruising night and the employee picnic, is June 7th. That's the Great Trash Race, the Interstate, the Visitor Center. I also, while we're on that subject, I wanted to give a really big thank you to the city staff who went out last Friday and will be out again this Friday. And I think it'll probably take us not as many as we thought, maybe a few more. We went out last Friday for a couple hours, between 8 and 10. There was 7 of us. And we just started picking up, starting at Maverick, and got almost to the end of that first exit ramp. So it's looking much nicer. And I hesitate to ask city staff to do that, but they've been more than generous with their time. And so I appreciate everyone that participated in that. Some of them are in the room right now, and some aren't, but I appreciate what they did. And we're going to keep getting after it here for a few more Fridays until we can get it looking fairly good. And the only reason we do that, Great Trash Race will focus more on East Old Post Road. That's usually what they do every year. They won't actually go by the exit and entrance ramps. So we're going to let them take care of that area, and we're going to try to focus on the rest. But anyway, just want to let you guys know, and I don't know how I can thank city staff enough for coming out and doing that on their, well, it's work time, but it's still, it's
That's huge.
it's not fun. I was exhausted.
I bet you were. I bet you were. It's hard work.
So anyway, that's all I had.
All right, Lori.
I have nothing.
Yes, you do.
I bet it would.
Did you just have a meeting?
It was a very short meeting. Not very many people attended this one, so
When's the next one?
there is not going to be a next one.
When's
We're gonna
it
go
start?
right into the farmer's market.
When's the first one? When's the first weekend?
It's last Saturday in June.
Last Saturday in June, so we still gotta grow some stuff before we can have it. I'll wait.
Before you can sell it.
All right.
Hey, it's just not about growing things. It's about crafts. It's about,
It's true. I got a
Jellies,
crochet
breads.
little stress thing that I've already ruined. I'll have to get another one this year.
yep, baked goods.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, fantastic. Thank you for helping out with
So
that.
I guess I did have something else to say.
You always have something. Don't ever underestimate your importance, Lori. Kendra?
Just as a reminder, on Thursday, I go to attend the seminar in Lincoln on how to be a better city attorney. So I'm excited about that. And I'm very impressed with our city employees going out and picking up trash. That's amazing.
Yes.
You mean
Very nice.
even
Very dedicated.
Even more than I was before.
I think you'll find out in that class volunteering for trash pickup is one way to become a better city attorney.
No. I resign.
That is awesome. Anything else?
No, that's all.
Fantastic. Autumn? What is the route for the cruising night? It's just up and down?
On Illinois Street, I think. I don't know. Yeah, just Illinois.
Okay. So it'll be on Illinois.
They usually park down in Hickory Square, don't they?
Yes.
There'll be cars parked down in there, but.
So the radio station will have a booth out on Hickory Square, which I think is blocked off, correct?
Yeah, yep.
And then all the parking lots will obviously be full with spectators as well.
Okay. Brandy?
I'm headed to the Nebraska Economic Development Association conference this week, so maybe I can get some new tips and tricks for us economically. We'll see. I'll be back on Friday. We did submit for our first drawdown in advance for the CCCFF funds, so we were approved for that today. Your creative district is about $34,000 away from their goal to get a local stage, so that we can offer it up to the local events and they won't have to spend quite as much. There's a lot, but those are like the first things I can think of, so.
That's fantastic. Josh?
Still learning.
All right, and you'll learn that you can't just not say anything
Oh, I know.
next time.
I forgot something, actually.
See?
We have an available commercial space tour coming up on the 6th, and I'm just making sure that if there's anyone left online that they hear this, we do have some people signed up to go around and look at about 13 locations around town that are available right now. That doesn't include lots that are for sale that they could potentially start from new. So on June 6th, we start at 10 o'clock, we go till about 3 o'clock, and it's the chamber and myself partnering up on that one, so.
And that is escorted by Casey and the
Yes.
Transportation Services of Sydney.
Yes.
Oh.
That is fantastic.
They can meet here at 10 o'clock in our parking lot out front.
10 o'clock in the parking lot.
Yep.
Perfect. Sam?
Kind of like what Mr. Scott said, we have a lot of major events coming up, so we'll be up staffing for all those events. First one coming up is obviously cruising night. I think we're gonna have an additional 3 or 4 officers on the road. Yeah, not to hamper anybody's fun, but just make sure it's safe for everybody. Followed up with that with Gold Rush Days and a couple other events that are coming up the park, so. I would
getting that
plan on
season,
seeing
isn't it?
all the extra police presence out there.
Fantastic. Higgin?
17 views and 7 of them are still with us.
Wow.
Those 7 people, there need to be some sort of accommodation. Let's have Lori look back through this, but I don't know if anybody's ever had to sit through 5 ordinance readings in one night.
I tossed that out during the ordinance, so.
Some of them went and ran errands and came back. I love it.
Screensaver didn't turn on.
Anything for the streets? Everything's good? It's fantastic.
I have a question.
You.
Great trash race open to everybody?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Where do you meet? Where do they meet?
It'll be up, they'll meet up at the visitor center that morning at 9 a.m. And I believe it's 2 people teams, but if you don't have anybody with you, just come up there. There's always extra people that are looking for a partner.
7 a.m.?
9 a.m. I believe is.
Brandon?
I'm pretty
Just
sure
say
it's 9 a.m.
thank
9
you.
a.m. check-in.
Just say thank you to all the employees and everything, and that's it.
I say hats off to Lori tonight. We still could be sitting here saying yay and stuff if she was a well-oiled machine tonight, so that was nice.
Yes. She also, what do they call that? Emphasized
I
the
think we should've
possibility
let
of
it
not
get comfortable.
reading it and what would happen to us. Brett?
Yeah, big thanks to Josh and David for putting together that strategic plan, the living document.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
Thank you.
bet.
Rob?
I have nothing. I'm wore out after all those ordinances.
I know how that can get to you. All right, well, I just have a couple things to talk about. Again, every time we sit through this meeting, and, I mean, there was some excitement there in the ordinances, but a lot of excitement in grants. At one time, we had 4 people in this room that have written a grant for Sydney and maybe even more. So that's, just the fact that somebody's successfully written a grant, but we have 4 and some of them have written multiple grants. So that is fantastic. For all sorts of projects and businesses in town. Every one of them helps Sydney some way, somehow. The amazing kids we have, I know there's been some talk about it. I forgot to mention it at the last meeting, but the Sydney Just for Kicks took 23 dancers, 5th through 12th graders competing against seniors, won 10 national titles between the 2 groups. I don't want to mess this up. The varsity team and the Dazzlers, which are 4th through 8th graders. There are videos out there to watch. Fantastic. Just amazing that those young ladies went and competed against people that do it all the time and won. And if you listen to that video, you can hear Sydney. Sydney wins several times, and that is awesome to hear. Cheating here, but state track. Landon Riddle got third in the 100. Boys 4x1 got second place. Keenan Kaiser tied for second in the high jump, 6'4". Melody Sanchez finished 10th in the long jump, and Kylie Camphy a triple jump of 34.11. So again, fantastic kids doing fantastic things in Sydney. And don't forget about the trash race and the cruising night. Lots of fun things to do in Sydney and lots of fun people to hang out with and do it. So that's all I have. Have a super great night, and we will end this meeting at 6